Yeah, it's been a good week. Obviously, we played in San Diego, got the result that we wanted, and we flew straight to Seattle. So we've settled in nicely. We had a training day yesterday. We got training again today. So we're excited about the game. We know it's going to be a difficult game. Whenever you come to Seattle, it's never an easy game. So we're prepared to make sure that we put everything into these last two remaining games, and we try and finish the season in a positive and strong way as we build into the new season.
Thank you for that. We'll start with questions. If you guys have a question for Ricky, please use the raise my hand option. Alex, go ahead.
Great. Coach, can you hear me first of all? Good
Yeah,
morning.
yeah. Good morning. We can hear you.
Good morning, good day. You don't have to see me, but I see you, Coach, which is the most important thing. How are you this morning? And by the way, I've got my parka on here in Houston because we've got Seattle weather.
It was 46 degrees this morning when I went outside, so I don't have an issue with a cold weather, but we're not that used to 46 degrees yet, so it was nice and refreshing this morning.
I like that and enjoy your West Coast swing, and I hope you continue with the wins. Coach, slightly beyond the match that's coming up, the club announced the signing of a 17-year-old, Zoe Matthews, in the last couple of days. There's many ways to look at that. I think for her it's a great opportunity. Signings keep getting younger and younger. Your thoughts on Zoe in particular and just the trend? And I'll have a follow-up about the pathway to professionalism, but your thoughts on her, please, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, we're super excited. She'd been training with us for a while, and, I think it's just an example of what the club's trying to do. They're trying to build, they're trying to create a structure moving forwards, and Zoe fits that structure and process for us. She's a talented player, physically she's very combative, but technically she's also very clean in possession of the ball. She's incredibly mature for her age as well, which is one of the things that really impressed us. So we're super excited. She's fitted in nicely with the group. Like I said, she's been here training with us for a while now. The signing was just a formality, really. So, yeah, we're super excited.
Coach, you mentioned maturity. That it clearly applies to Zoe. We want to wish her the best of luck. For full disclosure, run a youth club out in Katy, and many families and parents and players overestimate themselves. The negative side that I see is that now 17-year-olds are going to say, listen, I need to forego university. I need to forego a build-up to the NWSL. How do you see that pathway, Coach, in the United States these days? We're less than 2 years away from a World Cup. On the women's side, is the pathway to professionalism as good as it can get, or do you want to talk about that pathway, sir? You're living it.
No, listen, I've always been a believer if you're good enough, you can play. And I think one of the challenges now is that within these professional clubs that you need to have the processes in place. And for us, we have the processes in place, and it's about picking the right individuals. We've had a lot of young players come through the club this season and train with us. And with Zoe in particular, we just felt like she had a lot of tools that we were looking for in terms of a player. And, take away the age for a moment, we were looking at the actual player and what she brings to our group. So for us, we're incredibly excited that the path to pro for a young player now is opening up even more. But it's also about finding the right person and the right individual. And like I said, going back and looking for the actual player that you're looking for, not necessarily just because they're young. And for us, Zoe fitted a number of things that we were looking for. So we're super excited. Like I said, she's incredibly grounded. She's incredibly humble, and she's very coachable as well, which is also really important. She realizes this is the start of her process, start of her journey in the pro game, and she's constantly asking questions during training. She's constantly asking, why do we do this? What position should I be in here? What do I need to do in this moment? So for us, we're extremely excited. And she's surrounded by, like I've spoken about all season, she's surrounded by leaders and experience. And for us, that was a big thing as well. If we're bringing in somebody who's young, that they have people around her that can help her and guide her. And I think she's got that. So we're super excited. We realize it's just a start for her. But yeah, it's a great moment for the club, and we're just looking forward to her getting getting on the roster and being available for the game.
Coach, one more, and I don't want to monopolize, and anyone standing by, I apologize. One more, I promise.
No, you're okay.
There was a rollout of the new NWSL team in Boston. None of us are perfect. There's different ways to look at that campaign. Your thoughts in general about the expansion of the league? There's other cities that want to get in on this growing and improving league every year.
Yeah, look, I think I've said it before on multiple occasions. For me, the NWSL is the biggest league in the world. There's other leagues that obviously have top teams and top organizations, but there's only maybe 1 or 2, 3 teams in those leagues. For me, in the NWSL, you have the top 14 teams that are going to make it incredibly difficult for any team on any day. And for me, the league just continues to grow. It continues to set the standard both on the field and off the field. And we're just excited to be a part of that. And, you know, myself and the players, we're excited to be a part of the growth of the league. So it's exciting to see another team come into the league. And we just enjoy the fact that the league continues to grow.
Coach, thank you. Good luck against Seattle, and we'll talk soon.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Theo, go ahead.
Hey, Ricky.
Theo, how we doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. Nice to have a bit of cold, as Alex said. Question about the away trip. You know, final one of the year, 9 days away. From the outside, it looks like everyone is having a great time. It feels like this is an away trip, a road trip, a group trip, kind of come at the right time. I'm sure winning helped. Last weekend, but kind of tell me what the vibes are like, maybe some of the off-pitch bonding. I saw Avery was mucking about with some fish. It just feels like some good vibes and some kind of bonding. I know it's the end of the season, but yeah, it feels like a trip at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, look, listen, it's 9 days on the road, and I think when you have these types of trips, you also need to remember that they're humans as well, so there needs to be a balance between what we do in terms of work on the field and in the presentation rooms and what we're presenting. But at the same time, they also need downtime. And a lot of the times, because we're on these trips together and they're rooming with somebody or they want to go out, there's groups that, you know, a big part of this team are all coffee lovers. So they also need downtime where they go out and spend time with each other, or maybe they want to go and have a coffee on their own. So we've tried to strike a balance between doing the work, but at the same time remembering that this is a long road trip, and whatever we can do to just maintain a balance is important. But yeah, we're getting towards the end of a long season. Obviously, there's been a lot going on this year with this group. So for us, it was just about trying to maintain a balance where they can enjoy the city, but at the same time, we can make sure we're focused and ready for the game tomorrow. Not really. I mean, you'll be walking around the city and bump into one of the players. A lot of them have been down at Pike Street Market where I wasn't there yesterday when Avery was throwing the fish or the day before, but a lot of them have been down there walking around, enjoying the scenery. So it's been for me, to be completely honest with you, I'm still working 24/7, so I've spent a lot of the time in the hotel. But they've enjoyed themselves. We're on the 35th floor in our hotel, and we have incredible views of the water and the ferries coming in and out. So that's been an enjoyable sight every morning and every afternoon. But yeah, we just been enjoying the trip.
Love to hear it. Last question for me is a bit more broad, but you know, as a football manager, I wanted to get your opinion. We saw graffiti on the Hornsey Road saying Jonas out a few days before Jonas resigned as the Arsenal manager following a 2-1 defeat to Chelsea. As a football manager, you know, working in the women's game at the moment, like, do you have any reflections about seeing that kind of thing happen?
Well, listen, you know, what I would say is there's so many things that happen in this position. A lot of the times the media is not privy to some of the decisions or some of the things that happen behind the scenes. People don't see the work that goes on behind the scenes. And for me, it's an incredibly difficult job. It's it's an enjoyable job, but it's an incredibly difficult job. So I don't wish anyone getting fired or losing their job, but I also understand that there's a lot of stress and a lot of work that comes with it, and there has to be a balance. I think one of the things we speak about, speaking there with the players, maintaining balance, like one of the things I try and do is strike a balance. I try and get up really early in the morning and work out, and then during the day here I've been going for walks on my own. And I think sometimes it can become quite a lonely job when you're trying to manage everyone and you're trying to balance everything. But at the same time, it's an incredibly high-sprung job as well. You go and win away in San Diego 2-0, and the team works incredibly hard, and it's a super exciting performance from our end. And I think it's about finding balance in the job. And with Jonas, he works at one of the biggest clubs in the world, and with that comes expectation. And I think he probably got to a point where maybe he felt like he couldn't move them forwards the way he wanted to move them forward. So I wish him luck with his next career path or whatever job he chooses, but understand perhaps some of the challenges that he goes through day to day and empathize with him.
Thanks so much for the thoughtful response, Ricky. I really appreciate it, and good luck on Friday.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Manny, go ahead.
Hey, Ricky. Just a quick question for me. I know you were mentioning that the last two games you want to close it off and having a good performance. Recently, Ted and Tim, the owners, were mentioning about how the Dash, fell short this year and possibly looking for a good restructure for next year. How does those last two performances maybe contribute to that restructure for next year?
Well, I don't think two performances are going to change the way we restructure our organisation. And to be completely transparent with you, a lot of what we're trying to do as an organisation started a long time ago with regards to restructuring. So what we do in the next two games will not affect how the organisation is going to be restructured. But what it will do is it will bring us positivity. It will bring some energy to the group as we close out the season, and that's the most important thing. We've all year we've said that we want to take it one game at a time, and we continue to do that. We focus on Seattle tomorrow night, and we've worked hard in a short window on what we're going to do and what our strategy is going to be. But for us, it's always about finishing strong. It's always about trying to win games. Our job is to try and win games, and we talk about that a lot. Players have also spoke about in the media about they don't want to finish last, and this is a group with winners. This is a group with people who have achieved things. So I think what you'll see going into these last two games is a real strong mentality of we're going to get after it and make sure we finish the season in the way that we want to finish the season, and not in a way in which people can judge us like we have been judged throughout the season. So we're just going to continue to get after it. We're going to continue to work hard and make sure we finish the season really strong.
All right. Thank you, Ricky, and good luck on tomorrow.
Appreciate it. Thank you.